Studying abroad, whether as a full-year exchange student or even just for a few weeks, can be challenging as well as exciting and eye-opening. Students taken out of their familiar surroundings and dropped into a completely different place experience a widening of horizons as they get used to a different place and culture. We met up recently with two students from southern Germany, Julia Rieger and Johannes Getz, who were spending a couple of weeks at the Long Trail School in Dorset to hear their impressions of what school was like here compared to that back home.
Well, our school offers a sort of exchange program. They also offer trips to England, so London, and we did that the year before and this year too, and we just decided that, well, the exchange program, it stopped because of COVID, and now they're starting again. It was the last year that we could do it, so we just were like, yeah, let's go.
Why not?
Why not? Now we're here.
And you've been going to classes here at Long Trail and...
Yeah, we also went to New York for a couple days. New York City.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess, what's your sense of the differences between what school is like in Germany and what it's like here? My impression is it's kind of a different experience, but
Yeah.
I wonder if you could talk a little bit about, what it's like to go to school in Germany and the contrast you're seeing here.
Well, we're not on the same level like we would be in Germany, but we're not experiencing all the work. So it seems easier, I could say, but I wouldn't know because I didn't do the studying or the homework or anything such as. What's mostly different are the classrooms and also the school. It looks just entirely different from our school. And the way teachers teach here is much more comforting, I could say, than at our school.
Yeah, and for me the biggest difference is in Germany, including German, I learned 4 languages in school, which is kinda normal. Like I think 3 languages is normal in Germany. And so I think here they just learn like English and probably 1 other language. So that's, I think, a big difference.
Well, we have primary school, secondary school, and high school, kind of, but high school is, at least at our school, it's a little bit different from the state schools in Germany. We have high school from 10th to 12th grade, and you can, well, there's an entirely different school system in Germany. It's basically free.
Different ways you can finish school.
And it's based on not how smart you are, but how well you function with learning different things. There's Hauptschule, which ends after 9th grade. Then there's Realschule, which ends after 10th grade. And there's...
basically high school.
Yeah, Gymnasium. We call it Gymnasium, and it's up until 12th grade, and you can study afterwards.
And with the last one, you basically have the world is open to you. You can go to university, or you can basically do anything with that degree.
Yeah.
In terms of school, I think here you can choose like the classes you want to have, and we don't have that in Germany, kinda. Because there's some classes we have to take, and then sometimes you get to choose between classes, but that's very rare. So we kinda have to deal with it, and here you can like choose what you want to do, basically. Yeah, I like that.
Well, there's generally just a lot of differences between Germany and the USA. First of all, the USA is so much bigger and has a greater variety of basically everything. And Germany is just kind of like north and south, and that's the only difference we have. I'd say like the hugest contrast is the people, because at least in Vermont, and I was also in Maine, there the people are really nice, like welcoming. They immediately talk to you and say hi every time you see them. And in Germany, it's just kind of, you don't want to talk to anybody. It's like that's the same it was in New York, because no one wanted to talk to anybody, no one wanted to do eye contact or make eye contact. And that's how it is in Germany.
Well, we also went to the University of Vermont in Burlington, and there was like, you just smile at a person and they just walk right past you. It's you felt very ignored.
Yeah, it's kind of the difference between the countryside and the city. So.
Then we talked with Sam Krause, the Director of Student Life at Long Trail, to learn more.
This is a program, it's been a long-standing partnership between Long Trail and the Freischule, or the free school Anne-Sophie, in Germany, in Kunzelsau, Germany, which I'm probably not pronouncing correctly. But we have been sort of doing a program of exchange with this school. They send students over to us, and then we have a reciprocal program where we send students over to them, just for our students to be able to really experience what life is like what life is like as an average German teenager, and for these German students to come over and experience what life is like here at Long Trail School. And this program has been going for, I think, somewhere nearing on a decade now, but it was eroded during COVID. And so this is the first year that we are starting to re-engage with that program. And so the German students are coming over here this autumn, and then I'm hoping that they will come over again next autumn, and we will then go to Germany in the spring of next year. In the spring of 2025. From my experience as a student here, I'm still friends with exchange students who came and lived over in Vermont. Actually just had 2 of them come and speak at Long Trail in the last year, who I'm still friendly with, and who come and stay with my family. And so these programs are really important, and they can be things that bring a very large and sometimes seemingly confusing world. It just makes it all feel a little bit closer, and brings an opportunity for our students to form connections with kids abroad and get a real understanding of just how broad and diverse student experiences can be across the world. Getting the Long Trail community back into the routine of opening their homes up to foreign visitors and guests who can come and enrich our community is a big portion of that work. And I'm really grateful to the 14 host families, or the host families that have taken these 14 German visiting German students, because they've taken the ultimate leap and opened up their home and shared experiences, and shared a little bit of what our life is here, is like here with these students. And without them doing that, this program can't happen, and we can't bring these students here. And our community is enriched by their presence here. They get a really unique opportunity to see life as through the eyes of an American teenager for a short period of time, and hopefully are able to form connections with with their host. German students are able to form connections with their host families in a way that that can be long-standing, and allows them to remain in contact over the years, and have those international connections that they can continue to reflect on and learn from, and be able to share with.
The program at Long Trail School is but one of many involving exchange students. Another one is run by PAX, or Program of Academic Exchange, founded more than 30 years ago, which serves more than 1,000 students from about 70 countries. Kimberly Eckhart is the Vermont Regional Development Manager at PAX, and we met up with her online to learn more about what they do.
Not us. So we're a nonprofit. So we're kind of like we're like the paperwork intermediary, I guess. So the State Department, for these 2 scholarship programs. So there's the YES Scholarship Program and the FLEX Scholarship Program. The FLEX Scholarship Program are for countries that used to be under Soviet influence. So actually, Ukraine used to be the largest partner in that program. And before Putin became in charge, Russia even participated for a few years. But so there are partner organizations in those other countries that help run the testing for the students. There are interviews, written tests, oral exams, all that sort of stuff that the kids have to go through. And it's a process of many months. And then those partner organizations choose the students that are going to earn the scholarships for that year. The State Department processes, paperwork and stuff like that. And then for us, we're one of a few different nonprofits that work with the State Department scholarship programs, and we help support the students while they're here. we look for volunteers to host them, which is by far one of the most challenging aspects. And help, whether it's paperwork for their stay and that sort of thing, manage their health insurance, or finances, or whatever their program requirements are. Like we're actually taking a group trip to New York City on Saturday, which is always a highlight. The kids are without a doubt disappointed to hear they're going to Vermont. They've never heard of it before. So they Google it and they're like, oh, well, there's Ben & Jerry's ice cream, and it's next to Canada, so it must be cold. They don't seem to realize we're also next to Massachusetts and New York. But yeah, they're like, oh, it's just in the middle of nowhere. So larger numbers of students go into the Midwest, but yeah, none of them get to go to New York. So they're all super excited. This is kind of like one of our highlight trips. I went to this really interesting presentation by someone in the State Department once, and they had said that we could send as much, aid to a country in need. You could send food, you could send medical supplies. It says from the U.S., they're super suspicious. They don't want it. Like it's a negative reaction to us sending like physical goods to a country in need. Whereas the one bit of diplomacy that the U.S. State Department participates in that has the biggest return, like positive return, is student exchange. You're for us, obviously you're meeting someone from Pakistan and you never have that opportunity otherwise, or Suriname, you're like, I don't even know where Suriname is. Like, how would I ever meet someone from there? But for them as well, I've had a girl from Pakistan whose father was very reluctant for her to travel to the U.S. after she earned that scholarship, and now it's now they have an American family, so their individual beliefs are getting changed one at a time. It's it's a drop in the bucket, but every year there's maybe 1,000 more drops in the bucket. So it spreads slowly, but it's harder to hate people when you know people.
At a time when the world is moving through a time of change and uncertainty, programs which demystify other nations and cultures are probably more important than ever. For the GNAT-TV News Project, I'm Andrew McKeever.